Hello and welcome to Waylanders Wandering, where in this new series I will be playing through the Lord of the Rings online on one of the legendary servers. I'll be using Mordor, which is the European legendary server, and I'll be playing my High Elf Warden Glorlas from the very start to level cap, or till I get absolutely cheesed off with doing this. The name Glorlas may change, other things may change, but what we will definitely be doing is playing this character to endgame. So I hope you enjoy the ride. The only edits are going to be for loading screens and long travel instances. So the videos themselves are going to be quite long. Grab a cup of tea, sit back, get your feet up, enjoy the ride, and let's get on with this.
My dearest friend,
Glorlas, you seem as if you have lost in a trance, and I could not rouse you until this very moment. My dearest friend, do not allow the enemy to cloud your thoughts with visions of defeat, as Sauron already knows the mastery is ours in this battle. Alas, a cornered foe is the most deadly, and there are none more treacherous than the enemy in this realm. We must put our troubles behind us for the moment and press our advantage. And the quest is attend the High King's address to the Alliance. But in the meantime, we will very quickly put the in-game music on. Options, system, options. There we go. Audio, music volume, put that around 60. Accept. So what I'll be doing while in this playthrough is I'll read the quest text out to you, and if you have any questions, and I will basically tell you why I'm doing making various decisions. But if you look here, we have King Gil-galad in front of us, with Elendil and his son Anarion behind him, and then to the right hand side of the screen we have Glorfindel, the High Elf, Elrond, Half Elven, and Círdan. And of course, right across to the left we have Isildur. Isn't it cool? Turn that music up a little bit though. While this is going on, for the VODs, so I will be uploading to my YouTube channel, which again is at Waylanders Wandering. These will be cut down to hour-long segments, give or take, where bits like the loading screen that we had on before, or various loading screens, long stable horse journeys, etc., will be cut out. Other than that, it will just be straight up unedited. And here we go. There's the army of the last alliance, or part of it, I would suppose. Only 9 in number. Yeah, that doesn't sound ominous at all. Definitely sounds like it's the 9. To confront the 9. Well, Witheren, as it says there. They approach. Here come the 9. The Nazgul, led by the Witch King. Oh, and they've all got names, which is fantastic. Look at that. What do we have? We have the Witch King, the Cursed Rider, the Grim Southron, the Bane of Rune, the Gloom of Nirn, the Woe of Can, the High Sorcerer of Harad, the Black Blade of Lebanon, and the Forsaken Reaver. I like this purple one. That's cool. That is presumably Camel the Easterling. Says he won't be because that's not East. Maybe he's the Bane of Rune. Who knows? Yeah. I don't think we're going to be surrendering. Okay. And if we should accept your a surrender, what does he offer? Nothing. He offers nothing. You can all just die. In that case, I think we'll turn you down, Mr. Witchy King. So thanks. I can't say as I'm particularly keen on this Gil-galad look. I think Gil-galad in both the movies and even Rings of Power looks significantly better than that. Let's turn around. Glorfindel looks good. Elrond looks good. Quite like that Círdan. The design on the wraiths is superlative. They are really good. Elendil and the other Numenorians equally pretty cool. See what Gil-galad wants of us.
With Sauron's demands
Glorlas, before the 9 arrived, I sent forth the spears of Lindon with a garrison of elves and men. With Sauron's demands rejected, we can no longer hold hope that the Gwytherain shall stay their hands in this battle. You know the spears are Celaron, Megoril, Denaith, my friend, and they have stood by my side through many great battles against Sauron and most terrible of his servants. Ere they departed, they swore to cross the enemy's trenches and dismantle their siege equipment. It is true enough that catapult shot has not hit our position in some time, but the wider front has been brought to ruin by those very tools. You must now be my scout and my messenger. Learn what has become of their garrison. If any of them yet live, deliver to them a message of hope. The Alliance marches upon the Black Gate, and no evil man nor orc shall stand in the way of our victory over Sauron. And now, we better trot off and find out what's happened to everybody. I think we'll be slapping some bad guys. stuck there. It is strangely disconcerting as somebody who's been playing at a much higher level than this to suddenly be restricted on my attacks and such. Swiftly now, this way. I want to follow this gentleman. This dude. Spears of Linden are found against Sauron's forces, but they fight a desperate battle. So let's talk to Derenaith.
One of the Gwetheran rode westward and scattered our numbers.
Speak quickly, friend, for our force surge from the east. You tell Derenaith of your encounter with the Gwetheran and deliver the High King's message. The Gwetheran, 2 of their number, passed through our garrison from the north. One rode westward and scattered our numbers, but the other took Thelaron. In the midst of battle, he caught Thelaron's sword arm in a cruel coil of rope and dragged him eastward by his fell steed. I could not follow through the mass of orcs. I failed him. I failed the High King, but I shall fight on. Okay, and this is Megaril.
Aid the wounded in the field.
Hail, Glorlas, I am Megaril of Lindon. How fare thee the battles of the north? You tell Megaril of your encounter with the Gwetheran and deliver the High King Gilgalad's message. If we shall truly strike at the Black Gate this day, the Alliance must soon come hither. We did as the High King commanded and brought the enemy's weapons to ruin, but when Gwetheran appeared, they slew many of our number and divided our forces upon the Daggerland. The faces by which I once knew the Gwetheran when they first took the rings have long faded, but this one I knew by his blade. The cursed rider he is called, and he goaded his steed onward over the backs of elf, man and orc alike. Regrettably, we were forced to instant retreat before we could aid many of them from the field of battle. We now struggle to hold the only path over the great trenches, and the enemy's forces have brought forth more trebuchet and ballistae upon the Daggerland. Aid the wounded in the field. Let us hope that the Alliance shall arrive to drive off the enemy's forces. So now we need to rescue wounded soldiers from the orcs west of the forward garrison. So we will face west and we will get up this slope. We will go and rescue our 5 wounded soldiers. That's 1. Rescued. Carry on to the 3rd. Another rescue. And 4, and onwards to rescue the last one. Prince Thranduil lives, but the rider has him. Oh my goodness. Rescue Thranduil to the west of the forward garrison. So we continue. There's the cursed rider and Thranduil. This is Thranduil. This is Legolas's father. my fate sealed or not, my arrow shall fly true. We hope. Fools' wills can be broken, Thranduil of Greenwood, but this blade shall see to that. Oh my frick. Sir Naston the Young, who is a bastard great big spider, and we've got a spawn of Unguetari, 2 spawn of Unguetari, and it looks like we're going to be fighting Sir Naston the Young. We don't want to fight Sir Naston the Young, oh god. You've rescued Thranduil from the cursed rider and the repellent spawn of Anguetare. Jesus Christ. That was a big horrible spider.
The prince is fortunate to have survived his father's attack on the Black Gate, but the Guatharan's words trouble me.
The rider spoke a name in Kanyad as he disbarted Anguetari, the Spider Queen. Ungoliant is gone from this realm and shall trouble the world no longer, but her children remain, preying on anything they can devour and spreading her darkness through Middle-earth. One among them must now hunger as she did, without a care for the powers of the Dark Lord and without any purpose other than to consume. These are unhappy tidings, my friend, even if it seemed fortuitous that the great spiders turned upon the rider. If we do not face this child of Ungoliant in the war, it is certain that the day will come when her hunger shall seek to sate itself beyond the shadows of Mordor. The High King gave me leave to pursue you at the urging of the Spears of Linden, but he has called for your return at once. The alliance has come to the forward garrison at last. Reunite with them there, Glorlas, and make ready for our assault upon the Black Gate. Right, so back we go to find the king. I know he moves quite slowly, and it's kind of understandable. But later on, Elrond spoke true. The High King and Elendil have come at last. And there they are. Look at that. Let's talk to the High King.
Our paths are now divided.
I am
dear
glad to
friend.
see you again,
May the light
Glorlas.
of the Valar shine upon us.
Dernaith and Megoril have told me of Thelaron's capture, and I am troubled by such grim tidings. The Dark Lord would not have soon forgotten the wounds he suffered at our hands, and I fear what form his vengeance might take. Even now I wish to abandon my duty. I cannot turn my eyes from the Black Gate at such a crucial hour. Thus I give you this mission of dire importance. You must find Thelaron, and you must save him from the Gwytharein. As for the Alliance, one of Durin's folk has devised a cunning plan to draw the attention of the Dark Lord forces and allow for a swift strike against the Black Gate. In truth, I know not if this plan shall bear fruit, but we must conquer the gate if Sauron is to be defeated. I would ask that you speak to Sleagar the Crafty. He is an honourable enough dwarf despite his Trojan title. Once you have done as he asks, pursue the Gwytharein and rescue Thelaron. Our paths are now divided, my friend, but let us hope each of them will lead to victory. May the light of the Valar shine upon you. Okay, that's nice of you to say. And now we got to talk to Sleagar the Crafty, who is at the back there, little dwarf guy with all the blowy up shit.
At your service.
At your...
You are at mine.
At your service, Glorlas, or perhaps you are at mine. Have you considered how the enemy's trenches will never seem to stop burning? Well, I have. Slagar gestures to the pile of barrels beside him. These barrels are filled with a crude black powder that explodes when exposed to flame. Not only that, but it burns for hours afterwards. If it were more useful than stonework, I think Durin himself would have us steal some away. The Dark Lord's Black Riders, their damned ring wraiths as men call them. They're wily enough, but these goblins are none too bright. They've left their barrels right next to their own ballistae and catapults. Why don't you set some of them off? That ought to put an end to their siege and draw their attention long enough for the Alliance to reach the Black Gate. Just to make sure you don't stick around once you light them. And now I need to set 6 sets of black powder barrels alight. So that's our trot. We're going to ignore them because they don't appear to have any corresponding rings over there. Don't know what that's all about. Does seem odd. Okay. Here's a siege weapon, by the look of it. No. There's a goblin drudge. Let's go and smack his bum for him. He died very quickly. There's a barrel and an archer. Okay, let's go and spank this archer's backside for him. And we will activate the barrel. Scarper. And there's another goblin up there. Apparently, would very much like to beat his maker. Set that barrel off. Get this drudge. Go around this side, I think. We can. So that's 3. Happily destroyed. We're going to get this one at the back first. And then we will we'll fight these 2 bad guys. And that is the last one we need to do. Find and follow the path. Take it, we will take this guy in. Right, hoof prints. Okay, unmistakable hoof prints of the Guatharine steed lead to the northeast. We don't need to check every single footprint because that would be tedious. What we do need to do, I like that roll, is basically follow them. What if I can do that roll again? No? Oh well. Who is this? Glorlas, can it be? Yeah, it can be. Follow me, Lady Hearthlane. Hearthalin will want to speak to me. Oh good, bless her. There she is. You have not found Thalaron or the Guatharain, but a familiar elf stands before you.
Your tale troubles
Glorlas,
me, my
I am
friend.
gladdened by this reunion, but there is little else to celebrate. The High King sent me and my company eastward to learn what had become of the elves of Lorien. But alas, only Prince Amroth remains upon the field. His father and the others were routed to the north. But where they have gone, we cannot follow. The prince is injured, but he will heal in time. I must ask, though, why have you come? You tell Harthalin of the task given to you by the High King himself, and of Thalaron and the lost spear of Linden taken by one of the Guetherain. Your tale troubles me, for Amroth spoke of a terrible figure that passed with an elf slung across his steed. Time may grow short for Thalaron, my friend. I think it is time we learned more of what the prince saw. So let's go and talk to Prince Amroth. Prince Amroth, can you tell my companion about the rider you saw? As much as I do not wish to recall him, I can. From what you have told me, he was one of the 9 Guetherain, garbed in black and seated atop a great steed. I know not if he still lived, but an elf was slung limply across the Guetherain's steed. He lifted aloft a great mace, and with a crack of thunder his master's statue was toppled. It was then he looked upon me, and what remained beneath his hood sniffed madly at the air. Weirdo. There was a sorcery in his gaze, I tell you, for his eyes were as flames in a void. Perhaps he thought me slain, for he then rode on into the hills. No, it cannot be. It can be no other, Hithgol. The Witch King has taken Thalaron. Be wary, the men of the east who slew my father have an encampment in the hills. It is there he must have gone. Thank you, Prince Amroth. The men of the east hold the hillside, then we must go by secret steps.
If the Witch King has taken Thalaron to the Overlook, we must pass through the Easterling encampment ahead.
When my company came to Prince Amroth's aid, I heard a great cry and a thunder like flapping wings from above. It sounded like some terrible flying creature, as great in size as the eagles. I could not spy it through the smoke, but I am certain it lurked beyond my sight. I do not know if this creature is a servant of Sauron's, but its presence makes me feel all the more for Thalaron. If the Witch King has taken him to the Overlook, we must pass through the Easterling encampment ahead. The men of the East have grown arrogant behind Sauron's might, and they have left a small passage in their encampment open to the woodlands. Follow me, and we shall sneak in and avoid the dangers of approaching the gate upon the road. So now we need to follow Harthalane. Or Harthaline, because it's got an accent over the I. Harthaline, I don't know. I'm not very good at reading Tolkien. Or even mock Tolkien like this. But sneaking we will go. So don't make too much noise, dear viewers. Here we see one of the main problems that everybody has with MMO type games. The NPCs walk slower than your run, but faster than your walk. Oh, their sentry seems on the edge of sleep. Oh, charming. Well, let's splat some dudes. Okay. There's this warrior up here to take out. And now we're looking at hoofprints again. Familiar hoofprints lead deeper into the Easterling encampment. The Witch King's steed thrashes wildly as you approach. He and Thaleron must be nearby. Dude, that horse is brilliant. So now we must confront the Witch King and rescue Thaleron. Pete. Let's call him Pete. Can't say I'm overly enamoured with attacking the Witch King, but you know, there you go. How atmospheric this is. So let's get a screenshot of that. The Dagger lad. Beautiful. Any screenshots I take I should be putting up on the Waylanders Warden Discord. If anybody wishes to be invited to the Discord, I will put an invite up in chat. In fact, I'll do that now. Discord. Osh. So there's an invite to the Discord. And he is causing dread. He is causing +3 dread at the moment. We are kind of scared. The Elf King shall never see him again, for he shall suffer evermore in the dungeons of Barad-dûr. But you, Glorlas, you shall be changed, and you will return to Gil-galad as his greatest foe. Such is the will of Sauron. Ah, he's been knifed. Bastard. Suffer now and rise anew into the realms of the unseen. That's a Morgul blade. I've just been stabbed by a Morgul blade. VOD watchers, I will get rid of. Mumble at Harthadane. So I select Harthadane like by clicking on her, and I hit the icon here, or we type /mumble to use the mumble emote, and I will do that. That was weird. Rest until your wound is healed. My Lord Elrond, Glorlas has awoken at last. Rest easy, my friend. You are safe from harm in Imladris. Rivendell. The wound is healed, but Glorlas remains in need of rest. Harthalin. Rest well, my friend. I shall return in... You have awoken at long last. Now I need to find Elrond. Here he is, my Lord Elrond, Lord of Rivendell.
It brings me great joy to see you upon your feet once more, my friend.
After you fell, we attempted to heal you upon the battle plain, but the Witch King of Angmar had dealt you a grievous injury, one unlike any dealt to our people before by the hands of the Dark Lord. The decision was made to return you to Imladris, far from the lands of the enemy. You suffered for years in restless agony as my healers worked to free you from the evils that lingered in your wound. When the war was ended, I returned to aid them and learned much of healing the foul wounds from Morgul steel. When at last you could rest, you did so for many, many long years. Despite my efforts, your strength has diminished greatly. It may take a great time, but I believe you shall again know the power that lies within you. For the task given you by Gil-galad, do not consider it a failure, Glorlas. None could have foreseen the enemy's malice in sending his Nazgul to seize Thalaron. Tragically, he was never found, even after Barad-dûr itself was brought to ruin. It wounded Gil-galad greatly to lose you both in the war, and it is said that his light was dimmed through all the battles that followed. Even so, he did not falter before the enemy. No, you did not fall in vain, my friend. Our victory on the battle plain that day bore fruit. Indeed, Sauron resisted our assaults for 7 years in the Dark Tower, but in the end he was cast down by Gil-galad and Elendil. And Elendil's son Isildur cut the ring from Sauron's finger, destroying the Dark Lord and banishing him from this realm. Alas, there is more to be said on these matters. Walk with me, Glorlas. You remember the war as if it was yesterday, do you not? You are one of the few that remain in this realm that can recall it as I do, my friend. I come here often to reflect on the sacrifices we made in that war. Indeed, Gil-galad and Elendil defeated the Dark Lord, but they did so at the cost of their own lives. The realms of elves and men were thus forever changed, and the world passed into the Third Age. And so it has been for many years now. I do not wish to alarm you, Glorlas, but it is now 3000 and the 18th year of the Third Age in Middle-earth. A long fucking nap. Even if much else has changed, Imladris is as you remember it. You have borne many burdens in your time, my friend, and so I give you leave to depart to the Havens if you wish it. There is another here who sustained a terrible wound in the war. Heathgol is his name. Since chance has awoken you today, perhaps he too is healed from the enemy's wounds. Well, let's go and have a look, eh? See if he has awoken from his long rest, and then we shall speak more of your journey to the Havens. Alright, so it's decided that we're going to do that. Okay, let's go and find Heathgol. Presumably near the back where I was. Despite appearing outwardly healed, Heathgol appears in a deep, uneasy slumber. His strength is returning, but he remains in restless slumber a few months more, I believe.
Much has changed since we last traveled together from Eladris, my friend.
Goodness me. That is a lot of stuff. Well, alrighty then. It is unfortunate to hear of Heathgold's continued ills, but hold hope he shall soon recover as you have, Glorlas. You see, when the battle came at last to Barad-dûr, Sauron himself felled Heathgold with a deadly blow, and it seemed only by the grace of the Valar that he was not at once ended. Even still, the steel of the Dark Lord's weapons was tainted in much the same way as the blade that pierced you, and he has suffered its effects as you did for many long years. Now then, we have spoken enough of the past. Let us turn our minds to the days ahead. Much has changed since we last travelled together from Imladris, my friend. It seems now an age of men, and I sense the time of the elves in Middle-earth draws to its end. Indeed, many have departed this realm for the uttermost west in the ships of Círdan, our friend of old. He is now called the Shipwright by those who know his works, and he dwells in Mithlond, where a few that still remain in his service as skilled crafters. Much of the wood used by Círdan is ferried to Mithland by way of the port of Celondrim, along the arid Loooing, and it is there you must journey to reach the havens. Glorlas, I have gathered your belongings and a few supplies for your journey. I have set your ring in this case upon a table across the room, and your armour rests in a chest at your bedside. It is still marked from battle, but time has not worn it elsewise. Indeed, the pressing of an age has dimmed only our light and given rise to the shadow in the east. Concerning such matters, I have also prepared for you a tome of writings on the history of the Third Age thus far. You are free to claim them as you depart. Once you are prepared, we shall speak once more of your journey to Celondrim. Okay, so let's Elrond's writings. I'll have a look at that later. Not there, not there. Oh, over here. A sealed collection of armour, which we will carefully collect. Glance within, and the faint shine of your old armour catches the light. So let us put our armour on. Alright, let's not put our armour on yet, because apparently we don't do that just yet. And we will pick up within this ornate box. Your eye catches the glimmer of the ring you once bore.
Eladon and Elrohir are to follow an expedition to the ruins of Edthelion, and they shall see you to Celondrim in the course of their travels.
Very good, Glorlas. It's time. Your strength will return, my friend, and the power of your ring shall rise with it. I hope my writings prove to be of use to you, as you will. Well, I recount much of the time that has passed while your wound healed, but even I cannot be aware of all that has transpired since the end of the Second Age. As for your journey, my sons shall see you to Celondrim, and in the course of their own travels, Eladan and Elrohir are to follow in an expedition to the ruins of Edthelion, led by the elf Dorolas on my behalf. Speak not of this to any outside their company, but I have had a strange premonition, and in the midst of a field of blurred visions, a voice rose saying, blood-red footsteps upon snow-coloured black, where the dour king walks to take back his throne and finish what was begun. 'Tis a troubling riddle, my friend, and one that I do not think soon solved. Have you any thoughts on its meaning? You hear a muffled creak as the doors to Thamsend open. Ah, 'tis just as well. Such troubles are best left to Glorlas and his expedition. My sons await you by the door to the central courtyard, and when you are ready to depart, they shall guide you to Calondium along the arid Loooong. May your journey be swift and free of hardship, my friend. Namare. Okay, we will choose the axe because why not? Right, and now, if we look here, we have all our stuff. Okay, we will first put on our boots, helm, jacket, leggings, we won't put on our cloak because the one we're already wearing is slightly better, to be honest. And we will put on our gauntlets, shoulder guards, and we will arm ourselves with our axe. And we look pretty cool. We will also put on our ring. We put in the top slot, which gives us +2 agility, +1 vitality, +6 physical mastery, and +4 criticals. So it's pretty good. It's quite powerful, which is nice. We've also been given some dyes to use and some Athilas essence. Athilas is basically healing potions, and as we level up, different healing potions will give us different levels of healing. That's our gambit instructions that we'll throw away because we don't need them no more. We've also got some food that gives us agility things, which we'll put there for now. And in our quick slots, we will put that there, that there, and that there. All these other things we will look at another time, and the dies we will look at another time as well, I think. Now we need to speak to Elroy here, one of the sons of Elrond. In fact, what we will also do while we're at it, we will go for cosmetic outfits, and we will add our time-worn cloak to our cloak slot here, so that all our gear kind of matches, and we will equip that so that we look like we match anyway.
I am certain Father has told you all about the journey ahead. But do not worry. The matter of his dream need not trouble you.
So Father has at last given you leave to travel from Imladris Glorlas. I must say I'm excited to learn more of the battles of ages past from you. Father told us not to bother you with so many questions, but it is likely our last chance, is it not? I am certain Father has told you all about our journey ahead, but not to worry. The matter of this dream need not trouble you. Besides, the journey to Calondium shall give us time enough to speak of other matters. I would think the events of the past 3,000 years would be of some interest to you. My brother and I stand ready to set out for the arid Loooong. If you are prepared, we shall depart at once. Okay. Now we need to choose a specialization. What we're going to go for first is our specialization 1, which is the Blue Warden, the determination track. So we'll select that, and from here we have 4 points to spend on these skills. And for our 4 points, what shall we choose? Whatever shall we choose? Okay, we will take a pointy war cry, a point in persevere, and a point in marked targets. apply that. Okay, these are our racial traits, all of which are locked at the moment because they're tied behind various things. So we won't worry about those just yet. These are our virtues. For the blue track warden, we will be choosing compassion, fidelity, honor, innocence, and tolerance. So the first one we will start learning is compassion. Fortunately, we have these that we can use in a little while, which will give us an immediate boost to that, so that's kind of cool. Bingo Boffin wants assistance. Okay. Delete that because it doesn't seem to mean anything. And we have a new title that we can use. Not sure what it is. It's probably that Enforcer of Helm, but we don't want to use it because, we're in the middle somewhere. We have a gift there we can open, Elrond's gift. Elrond's gift is 2 more dies. That we don't need. Some morale potions that we'll put up there, out of the way for now. Actually, we'll put those up there in that top bag. And we'll take that out of there and we'll put those in there instead. This is the green one. Refreshes our morale. It heals 10 to 12 morale initially, and then 5 or 6 morale every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. And this one does the same for our power, and power is used to execute our abilities. So we will actually open our character log again, because that ring we can now use. It is our copper ring of vigor, which gives us 8 fate, 2 vitality, and 8 tactical mitigation. So we'll put that there. Outfitting yourselves to others is a unique quest, which means we go and see the crafters and learn some crafts. So we have got these 2 quests first. First thing we'll do is go and talk to Tearthon. Glorlas, have you heard the good tidings? The time has come at last to sail to Mithlond and to thence to blessed Valinor. We have waited only 1 month, but each day has seemed a year since we arrived in Kelondim. The burdens of this realm shall soon be behind us, but I am curious if the sons of Elrond found what they sought in the ruins of Ithelion. I have heard many tales of the sorrowful history of that place, and how it came to ruin by the hands of that disreputable dwarf named Skorgrim Darhand. But it has laid empty for many long years now. I wonder if anything remains to be found there. I have never walked upon the shores of that blessed rim, but I have heard many tales of Valinor. Your forebears who once dwelt there, did they not? Did you as well? Tearthon pauses for a moment and studies your face. You look restless, my friend. What troubles you on such a joyous day? What troubles you, Glorlas? You tell Tearthon that your thoughts are drawn to your friends and kin and to the choice that was given to you to remain in Middle-earth if you wished it. Why would you wish to remain here? As you must know well, the lands of Valinor heal all ills and replenish our spirits. The concerns of this realm are not ours any longer. Tearthon senses that his words have not convinced you. I see. Perhaps you should reflect upon the paths of your friends and kin to guide you. So I need to reflect now on the paths of my friends and kin. 5 times. Not sure how we're going to do that. First person we're going to go and see is the VIP rewards vendor, who is Wenda Cranspill, who is going to give us these 2 items. And we finish the quest. These 2 items are super useful. This one, put those up there, right? This one allows us to use town services such as the a shop, so we can empty the trash out of our bags, open our personal vault, open our shared storage, which is storage shed between all our characters, open our wardrobe where we can put items such as this cloak of the Aelingus and the hauberk of Hammerhand, which are cosmetic items, and means that we don't have to look like we are here. We have 3 cosmetic slots open, and we can buy others if we so choose. We're not going to because they're kind of expensive. We don't need them at the moment. But what we can do is, if we don't like the look of our actual equipment, because sometimes our actual equipment isn't particularly, it doesn't go together very well. Like this cloak, blue cloak, doesn't really go with our sort of mostly green armor. We can wear a cosmetic outfit instead, and this gives us a bit more personalization. The other item here that we will scroll through is the subscriber's jug, which accelerates crafting time and is again super useful, but we won't put that up there because honestly we don't need it. So again, the first thing we will do is we will open our personal vault. I'll move it to the middle so it's easier to be seen. And we have 10 chests basically that allows us to sort through all our gubbins. But what we will do is we'll actually use our shared vault, and at the bottom on there we will rename that one, and that will be dice. And in the dice chest we will put these dice that we've been given, because we're not going to be using them for now, and otherwise they'll be in the way. Okay, these items that we've just put in the wardrobe here and here, don't need to keep those anymore. They're in the wardrobe, they're safe, and unless we accidentally delete them from the wardrobe, which to be honest we're not going to do, we don't need them, or we can destroy those because you can't sell them. The rest of these packages we will open probably the next time we stream. What's that? Fleetness. Actually, no, we will keep this one. Yes, we will keep our one that Elrond gave us. Okay. This are
How may I be of service?
tokens of salutation. Whatever these are for. Which of these have I not? Ithildun coins. Where do we get those from? These are given for those who aided against the spread of evil, and we don't really care about them. We'll leave those anyway. This is our class trainer, since we're paying a warden.
What can I
These
do
are
for you?
all the warden skills, but we don't need to worry about them because they are automatically bestowed on us as we level up. Originally in the game you had to buy them, which made the game entertaining, to say the least. But we have somebody else to talk to over here. We're talking to the memory of Harthaline. You reflect upon the decisions of your dearest friend Harthaline, who has chosen to remain in Middle-earth and free it of evils before the time comes to bequeath it to men. You consider her duty to the people of this realm, and that you hope that you might remain to aid her in the battles against the evils of the world. And here we have the memory of Glorfindel. You reflect upon the path of Glorfindel, who has remained in Middle-earth to stand against the evils of the enemy and most vile of his servant. You think upon Glorfindel's deeds in the elder days of the world, and how his resolve has never faltered, even when confronted with death. Oh. Somebody at the end of this pier. I'd secure down the ship right. You reflect upon the decisions of Círdan the shipwright, who remained in Middle-earth, that others of his kin might depart for the blessed realm of Valinor. So we reflect upon Círdan's sacrifice. He sacrifices his own joy, his own happiness to remain in Middle-earth and aid others. It's kind of cool, I suppose. No. And we have one here. We have a memory of Elrond the Half-Elven, our lord. You reflect upon the decisions of Elrond Half-Elven, once the Herald of Gil-galad, whose time in this realm draws near to its ending. You consider Elrond's words, for he said that you might depart for the uttermost west if you truly wished it, and that the burdens of this realm no longer fall to you. You consider that he kept you in Imladris, that the choice might one day be yours, rather than sending you to revive in the uttermost west. So I think we can say from that that Elrond thought that our own choice was more important. And finally, we talk to the memory of Gil-galad the High King. You reflect upon the path of Gil-galad the High King of the Elves and the bravery he possessed as he fought and fell to purge the evils of Morgoth and Sauron from the world. You consider the loss of the elf Thalaron and the pain of losing a companion during the war as Gil-galad did. You consider the loss of your king, and you understand that his sacrifice meant for the people of Middle-earth. My reflection on the path of Gil-galad fills me with determination. So now I go and speak to Tearthon. As you return to as your reflection led you, Glorlas, you tell Tearthon that you desire to remain in Middle-earth. It is not the choice I make, but I understand it, friend. You have made it your purpose to confront the forces of evil wherever they may take hold. And though it doesn't seem so here in Calondim, it is true that great evils are again at work in this realm. You see, while we were reflecting, Eladan and Elro here arrived in Calondim and asked to speak to you at once. I told them I would deliver their request when you returned, and they now wait you near the stable master. My path leads to the uttermost west, but it seems yours now leads elsewhere. May the Valar guide you, and may you one day find your peace in Valinor. That's nice, I suppose. And now this fellow had a quest for us to see what he wants for his quest.
Greetings, friend. Will you lend me your ear?
Okay, so our quest is going to give us one of these weapons. When we complete it, we will probably take the javelin because it's one of our weapons that we can use, and we don't really want to be a dagger type character. It's boring, to be honest. Our time is closing in this land. Soon we will be but legend and memory to the mortals who will remain upon these shores. While we are still here, however, we must do what we can to ensure that these lands are safe and beautiful. The preservation of the land is why I have come to the port of Calondim. My brethren and I have been looking into recent events in a glade to the north of here, and to enlist any willing to go there and assist us in discovering the source of an infestation of sickle flies amongst the trees. To the west and the southwest of the port, if you are willing, remove the threat of the sickle flies from the trees and report to Overlass at Nen Hiliath to the southwest. Okay, will do. And for that we need to defeat 6 veil flies, which I'm sure we can do. Anything else there that we need to talk to? I don't believe so. So let's move around to this next guy. This is the Hardened Traveller. This is the difficulty selector. Okay, we can go for difficulty 1, which is adventurous, which is basically the lowest difficulty. Daring, fearless, fearless +1, +2, +3, heroic, heroic +1, +2, and our tasks, which are tokens of heroism. What we will do is we will choose fearless, and because we've accepted this quest before level 11,
How can I be of service?
we immediately start a deed which is achieve level 50 level playing throughout on Fearless. So we cannot lower our difficulty, but we can higher it and carry on playing that way. And for that we will get an account-wide title, Disciple of Arms. And we, at the same time, we will take the task, which is collect tokens of heroism 10. Don't even know how you get those, so we won't bother tracking it. And here are Iladan and Ilro here. So Iladan will talk to us. Glorlas, I am glad you have not yet departed. I feared we would have come too late. Eladan and Elrohir's faces betray grave concerns. There are grim forces at work in the Ered Luin, my friend. Their terrible gauntlet Ivar has bound vile spirits to the corpses of the dwarf Lord Skorgrim, and now the Dowerhands think him their leader reborn. Our foes escaped, and now the enemy has beguiled the Dowerhands into his service. Elrohir gives Eladan a knowing look. Indeed, the truth must be told, brother. When Father spoke of the shadow in the east, he spoke of Sauron, the Dark Lord has returned once again, Glorlas, and he has sent his servants across many lands in this realm to search for the ring that was lost. If Sauron recovers the ring, no host shall remain to stand against him, and all shall be lost. The time shall come soon when the peoples of this realm are called upon to war, and I beg that you remain to guide them and make safe the lands of Middle-earth. It is a great demand to make of one such studious as yourself, and at so final an hour, but I would not ask if the need were not dire. It shall soon be a realm of men, and it must survive for them to inherit it. I beg you, will you remain? You tell Aladan and Elrohir that you have chosen to remain in the realm of Middle-earth. To have you among the forces that stand against Sauron brings me new hope for the days that lie ahead. You should aid the folk in Kalondim and the lands beyond to hone your skills for battles that surely await us. When the time comes, we will call upon you to join us. And we'll finish there with that kind of conversation. But it would appear we have other quests, other quest rings. So Thinglair
You may be of service to
has
me.
a quest for us: defeat foul creatures in the Thamgalair. This is a beautiful land, is it not? I wandered it often in my youth. Places that were once fair have long since fallen into decay. Some of the older ruins have even become habitations for foul creatures that gnaw at the edges of our lands. My brothers and I have set ourselves the task of cleansing a few of these places before we leave. To this end, I have in my possession a token given to me by Elrond Half-Elven long ago. It is imbued with a light that creatures of evil find painful to bear. The ruins of Thamgalair to the west of Kalondim have become infested with foul creatures. If thou wouldst slay any you find within and then place this token there, its light should keep them from slinking back in the night. And we will accept that quest. And there is another one over here. Yes, there is. Cardavar
Will you lend me your ear?
is going to start us on the prologue for the great epic quest line. I have heard that you are well travelled. Perhaps you have seen my son Avathal on your journeys. I received a message from him saying that he was coming from Duilond to visit, but he has not yet arrived. That is most unlike him. In his journeys here, he oft speaks with the travellers along the road and visits the Vale of Nenhilith, where a friend of his, a dwarf named Athal watches the road and helps the few dwarf travellers who come to Kalondim. Perhaps Avathal is speaking to him now and has simply forgotten the time. Would you seek him? Head across the woods southwest of Kalondim to the Vale of Nenhilith. There is a small camp of elves there. If you do not find Avathal there, perhaps you will find Athal. If so, speak to Athal and see what news he may have of Avathal. There's a lot of there in that bit of text. Makes me feel quite gummy, but I still need to go up to the this is Mibrethil.
Stay a moment.
Welcome to the Falathorn, Glorlas. You have seen the harbour city of Kalondim up the hill to the northeast, and the refuge of Duilond is further to the north. So I can see that you have desire to fashion goods and to practice your ability to create things of substance and use. It is my recommendation that you visit my friend Gwaeloth in the terrace overlooking Kalondim, where many useful and comely goods are fashioned. Go up the hill to the northeast into the city and follow the path to the left as it winds up the hillside. Atop the stairs, follow the path southward to the terrace. Gwaeloth will be pleased to help you and learn how to keep your journey as a craftsman. Okay, so now we're going to go learn how to craft within the game. Noisy. Speak to Gwaeloth. Mibrethil sent you to me. You must be interested in learning a crafting trade then. Wonderful. A red Loooong will be better for your effort, my friend. Speak with the master of apprentices on this terrace, for he can help choose professions in which to specialise. Once the master of apprentices has welcomed you to the chosen professions, be sure to speak with the supplier. She can sell you the tools of your trade. Every profession has its own tools, so be not over shy with your coin purse. The novices will be happy to sell you any recipes you might wish to have, though I can tell you now that you will already know how to make a thing or two. Equip a crafting tools and you plan on using for the appropriate facility, blah blah blah. Right, and we've leveled up again. So actually we've got some skills to sort out, so let me just adjust myself. Okay, we have the skill Ambush. Ambush allows us to throw a javelin at the enemy, which will stun them and give her stun them for 5 seconds and give us 50% plus run speed to close the distance between us and them. We also have a warning shot, which is a powerful javelin toss that aggravates your target, forcing them to attack me. And then we have restorative shield work, which increases our block and 50% partial block chance and 25% partial block mitigation. So it allows us to block attacks better. Coolio. What do we have? Oh, we also have, let's move that to there. We also have the hampering javelin, which debuffs enemies, gives a mighty minus 30% target run speed, which makes them run slower towards us, so we can throw more javelins at them, which is cool. And we have the ability to return home, which will pop there for now, but I think I will download some mods so that we don't need to worry about that too much as we move on. So now we speak to the Master of Apprentices.
You may be of service
Complete
to me.
our outfitting yourself and others quest. You must be Glorlas. I have been awaiting your arrival, and I'm very excited to see that our letter found you well. I am Golfenir, and I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. I'm here to help you through the very first stage of learning craft. If you have questions, feel free to ask me. Okay, so what we do now is we look at the various crafting professions. We can learn cook, farmer, forester, jeweler, metalsmith, prospector, scholar, tailor, weaponsmith, and woodworker. So the first thing we will do is we will learn Forester.
Megovanen.
Foresters gather can gather wood and process it, but they can also process the hides of animals to make light and medium armor, and we are a medium armor wearer. So we have taken that. Moving on down, we will also take Prospector.
Swilad Melon.
Prospectors can gather all kinds of metal ores and gemstones, but they can't process the gemstones. And it's a useful one to have. Our third one, we will take the Tailor Craft,
Greetings to you.
which will allow us to make our own armor, because we wear tailors make light and medium armor, and we can wear light and medium armor and cloaks. That, unfortunately, locks us out of any, and we can now track mines, which are metal deposits, or wood, which are wood deposits. We'll leave it on wood because they're usually harder to see, whereas mines tend to stick out of the ground a little higher. But what we will first do is, our first thing we will do is we will get more, which allows us to take a fourth crafting profession. It takes a hot minute for the thing to open. So, looking at this, we go crafting. Ingredient packs, recipes, crafting tools. Is it here? Complete. Oh, we will take a toolkit, which means we've now got a toolkit that we can use for ore crafting. We'll do that thing again. Close that. Oh. Doesn't like it when we do that too quickly. We will equip that, which we will go through in a little while. And what we will do is extra crafting slot. Okay. I can't think of how it's actually inventory slots. Character. Character upgrades, possibly. Let's have a look here if there's any of these. Nope. Which is that? Where is it? It says map skills. Character edits, character race change, character rename. We don't need to do those. Need those. Those. It's not those. Is it in crafting then? If it doesn't work, I'll do it off camera later. That's town services. Don't need those. That's potions. Movement. We don't need movement. We don't want food and drink. Armor. No. Advancement. These are... No, we don't need those. No, we don't need those. Character, is it? Character? Character upgrades? No. Vault storage, purchases and upgrades, character edits, discount. No. It's not that one. I just sworn it was in crafting. Crafting XP, complete forester, complete prospector, tools that we bought, rapid crafting, universal crafting law, toolkit. Let's try. No. Inventory slots, shared storage. Definitely isn't any of that. I don't think it's an account-wide thing. That's content. That's mithril coins that we're not that bothered about at the moment. We definitely want to carry all. We need to be a bit careful about how much we spend. Collections? No. It's not cosmetic. Bonus character slot. Blah blah blah. They're character slots. We don't want character slots, mate. Is it that one? No. That one. That's vault storage. That's account-wide stuff. $38 characters. Can you imagine having 38 characters? Dear God. You'd do nothing else at all. Ever. Would you be able to do anything else but play this goddamn game? Let's try slot. Let's try profession. Or let's ignore it for now because it's not importante.
Swilad Melon.
So then we pick up a quest for each of our
Greetings, friend.
crafting professions. For those, we need to speak to the supplier for forestry
How can I be of service?
and prospecting,
Megawannen.
and we need to speak to the novice tailor or tailoring.
How can I be of service?
We move to within. Okay, if we open this up and we look at apprentice forester, here we see we're not close enough to the facility required workbench because it's in red. As we move forward, that turns green, which means we're now close enough and we can do this. So we open that crate, and for this we need to make a brushed light leather. So we've got 2 light leather, so we'll make brushed light leather. And it wants us to make a thin rowan wood. It has given us 2 rowan wood, and it wants us to make a thin rowan boards, so we will again make a thin rowan boards, which completes the quest. But we also have the tailor one. Tailors also use a workbench, as you can see. We've got the tools because we're using the universal tools, and it makes, we need to make a rough cloth cloak, rough cloth cloak, which takes 2 light leathers, which that thing gave us, and a bolt of rough cloth, So we hit make one of those, and we have created that. We can complete our quest. I see the cloak is on your person, may I see it? He checks it, blah blah blah. He says we've made a very nice cloak, and away we go. On the way past, we can speak to our supplier and complete our introduction to Foresty, who again wants to look at the things we've made and tells us we're a very good boy, and we've made those. For the final one, we need to do the prospecting one. Prospecting uses a different workbench, so we need to smelt a copper ingot and require a forge. So if we move towards this forge here, as soon as that goes green, we're close enough. We can make our copper ore into a copper ingot. Everybody's happy, and the supplier will check our copper ingot. Okay, but what we are going to do is we've completed the Explorer, because there are various combinations, I should say, I suppose. So what we do is we've completed that, so we've completed practice makes perfect. We say, yeah, that's cool, and now he will give us 3 universal ingredient packs, which will make us to make 3 things with no recipe.
Hail, friend, and well met.
We don't need materials now to make 3 items. What we're actually going to do is we're going to forget an old craft possession and learn woodworker. We're going to forget prospector. And now we can do the same thing for woodworking.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
We're going to speak to the novice woodworker, who will introduce us to woodworking. To open the crate, and they want us to make a rowan bow, a rowan staff, spear, hammer, club, great club, or javelin. We will make a javelin because, or shall we make a spear? Let's make a spear. Actually, we'll make the spear. Mainly because I prefer spears for this character class. So we'll make the spear. Speak to the lady again. She'll say, that's a really nice spear. And I'll say, yeah, it is, isn't it? And off we go. And that is all of those quests done. But what we will first do is equip our new spear. Or we would if we were level 7. Once we level up, we will equip our spear. And it can go there, so don't forget. But in the meantime, we'll go back to our provisioner there, and we will sell some of this junk out of our pockets. We'll keep the housing decorations. We will sell that. And that, and that. We'll keep that, we'll keep that, we'll keep that, we'll keep that. Sell, sell. That's the thing we crafted. It's slightly worse than the one we're wearing, so we'll sell that as well. Sell that, keep that, because they're the ones that we need. We'll put that up there with our other collection of various garbage. These we can't sell, but we don't need them anymore because we have our universal toolkit, which you can see equipped here. It gives us plus 20% chance on all crafting to make a critical one, which is a significantly better version of the standard version of anything that we make. And the only thing that we can't make for ourselves, shields, because they're made by metalworkers. So away we go. Oh no, that way. In our map, in the mini map in the top there, see this icon, which is in Fence of the Forest, and we need to travel sort of this way to go and do it, and there's a veil fly. So we throw a spear at it. And that wee dwarfy bloke was there as well. There's another one here, which he missed. As you see, these things are coming up which are deeds. What they are is in our class thing there, we have Apprentice of Arms, which we've already seen. We have Disciple of Arms, which is achieve level 50 playing through the on Fearless or better. Apprentice, which is make it on Adventurous or better, which will give us Apprentice of Arms. That will give us Disciple of Arms. Efficient Thrust, which is strike with quick thrust or quick toss. This is quick thrust. So every time we strike with that, this will advance one up to 200. Probably at a rate of maybe 20 a day. We can do that. Or quick toss, which is that basically. Good God. Frick was that? Okay, that's 2 Baleflies. We don't like that fiery thing. That was scary. Okay, we have skill and power. So I have another one which is strike with deft strike, which is I think it's Bosch. But if I can quickly show you actually. Like quick thrust is this. And what was the other one? Deft strike. Should be a gambit. The deft strike is 2 of those. So Bosch will give us 2 of that and 1 of that every time. So we can use that knowledge to increase. See, we can't pick that up now because we've turned it off. This is what we would be picking up if we were still doing that. So what we'll do, we'll select our Balefly up there, move to position, use this ability to throw that and knock it out, and we'll go deft, quick thrust, deft strike, quick thrust, deft strike. We'll carry on doing that until it's dead. We won't stand in that fire square. That's 3. There's another one over there. Wang a javelin at it, run across, beat it up a bit. Get out of that firebox. Get out of that firebox. That's 4 out of 6. We'll ignore those 2 for we'll ignore those for a second. We'll pick up these rowan branches. And then we will take on another Balefly. So bash, slap, bash, slap, and so on and so forth until don't catch yourselves on fire. Okay, our health is moved down a little bit there, so we'll wait for that to fill back up. And we'll move on to our next fight. You can take a nap. There, we have now defeated our 6 Oofadiddlies. Okay, quickly look at our map. We are... Where are we? We're here. We've got a quest there. So if I turn around so that the arrow is pointing towards the quest marker, we will run up there. By run, I mean jog really slowly, because we haven't got our running fast ability yet. Oh god, you run slow. So we've got a new deed, the Elf Ruins Exploration. We've just found our first one, which is here. We have just found Nenhilith. We've talked to Athal.
Well met, friend.
Nay, I am still here waiting for Avathal. He has requested I meet him here in the Vale of Nenhilith and has yet to arrive. I meant to enter the Vale myself, but the elves bade me not to enter, and being that Avathal is not here to speak for me, I dare not risk angering them. I'm sorry that I cannot be more help to you, or your lord, Cardavar.
Greetings, traveller. Will you stay a moment?
So he's giving me a quest because Avathal has in fact turned up to go and find Avathal or his pack. It is not like Avathal to be late, or at least not without sending word, nor to put aside his usual habits. Still, he spent much time in contemplation in recent days. When Avathal decides solitude for quiet thought, he spends much time beneath the white trees in this vale. Perhaps he's amongst them, or unbeknownst to anyone. Would you go there and find him? I would, of course, but I shall not defy the will of the elves. Make your way into the Vale of Nenhilith and search for any signs of Avathal. I pray you find him hale and hardy, but if not, perhaps you will find some sign of him yet. Even just his pack. Sounds ominous, doesn't it? We talk to Ovolas. Ovolas. Lass is leaf. Don't know oval, tree leaf. Don't know. In defence of the forest.
What do you need?
May Gavan and Leonin had you fighting back the sickle flies? Good. It has become necessary to drive them out of the forest lest they kill the trees. Your aid will be welcome here, Glorlas, for there is much to do. And now I can choose that javelin. So I can't use a runestone. I can't use a staff. I can't use a bow. I can use a dagger, but I'm using that axe at the moment because it's, well, it gives them -2 armor, so it's slightly better. It's less damage, but slightly better on the other side. Oh, and I don't use battle gauntlets either. So we'll finish that, and we will equip the javelin because it is better than the one that we're carrying. We don't need that either. Right, off. And that gives us a deed. The deed is to complete question Erid Lewin. And we have completed 1 of 10.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
Better pick up some more. Now he wants us to curry favour with these 2 elves, which are Glavrolanin
Stay a moment.
Our efforts are to recover the land from this new threat, that is clear. We are also here at the behest of our kinsman. In Kelondim there is a vintner who wants only to make final offering and to store enough wine to survive our journey to the west. I have offered to recover enough wood to build such a cask. You will need to search the wood in this vale for wood that has not been spoiled by the sickle flyers or the wolves. And wolves spoil wood. Never mind. Return to me when you have collected enough sturdy pieces of wood, and I shall grant you my favour.
Mind my words,
My
traveller.
Gavarnan Warden, I overheard your discussion with Ovolas, and I hope that you are willing to assist us. This vale was once a place of inspiring beauty where we could come and commune with nature. It has fallen far from those days since the incursion of these wolves. It is unclear where the wolves come from or why they choose to dwell in this valley, but it is clear that they must be removed to ensure that nature can reclaim its balance. Enter the valley and destroy the wolves to ensure the future of the valley. Return to me when you have completed this task, and you will have my earned favour. And Helhathel wants me to kill 6 wolves. So there's a howling grey wolf. Let's go and get that wood first, since it's closer. So we'll get some wood for Wood Dude, and he wants us to collect 5. There's a wolf, so let's stick a javelin up its bum. We have a new deed, Wolf Slayer, and a quest item. We will accept the quest, which is bring the iron collar to Ovolas. And the deed was wolves. And we need to kill wolves in the region. And we need to kill 30 wolves. Indeed, wary blocks. Okay, we need to strike with defensive strike, which is 2 greens, 200 times. That's not going to take forever, is it? Okay, so let's get this pile of lumber. Keep our eyes open for wolves. I do have a sneaking suspicion there's another player in this region at the moment. Which means that maybe they're killing all the wolves. And it appears that these piles of lumber are not all they cranked up to be. That was rotten. It was all rotten. Is this really good? There we go. So let us try and find some more wolves. Oh, an elf satchel. That doesn't bode well for Abathel. So we'll pick that up. We'll carry on looking for wolves because we only killed 2 out of the 6 that we need. Quickly run these 2 quests that we've completed back.
What do you need?
Finish that one. means we can now take our spear.
Mind my words, traveler.
Deliver the wood to Brigadier in Kelondim. Oh, we can do that. Collard.
What can I do for you?
I don't know.
Stay a moment.
We cannot let another moment pass without informing the others of the arrival of the goblins. Perhaps Lord Doronger's protection is weakening as we make our way to the shores to depart, or perhaps the enemy grows stronger, faster than we expect. Regardless, Glorlas, you must send word back to Kelondim that my superior there. Quickly, return to Leonin and the Glade Watcher at Kelondim and tell him what you have found. You will find Leonin at the docks in Kelondim, northeast of this vale. So I'll accept that as a thing to do.
Greetings, traveler.
This is Avathal's pack, I am certain. I fear that something untoward has befallen our friend. Please take care of this to Carnivar and tell him that I will do whatever I can to help find my friend, his son. Okay, so we've got those. But in the meantime, we still need to go and kill some wolves. So let's try and find a wolf or three. There's a wolf. Gosh. Have a spear up you. Cool. It's very nice of these other players to be killing everything for me. Not sure I appreciate it. Oh, one more wolf. One more wolfy, 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 wolf, wolf, wolf. There's one over there. There we go. That's one of the wolves.
Megabonnen.
Oh, that's why he was going quite quickly. He's level 50. Yeah, mate.
What do you need?
Okay. We'll choose. Yes. That helmet, because it's better than the one we're wearing. And we will put the one we're wearing into our cosmetic slot instead. We're wearing that one. And we will skedaddle back to base and hand these in. See where the gate wants us to go next. As you move onwards with the Warden archetype, Wardens are based on Haldir and characters like that in the Lord of the Rings. But once the Warden has been, I don't know how to put it, a little more advanced, once you've leveled up a little as a Warden, you will find that you then have the ability to run faster and use various teleports. Right, this must be Berriger who wanted the barrel bits. So, more wood, excellent. I've been kept busy enough to think I may soon need assistance. You have my thanks for this delivery, Glorlas. This wood will serve nicely as a cask for the fine elven wine.
You may be of service to me.
Warden, if you take a moment, I have a request for you. A dear friend to me, Breathilwen, spends her days tending the grapes at Limael's vineyard to the north and west. She sent word to me not long ago that she required a cask for a special wine she wanted to present upon the white ships. I have crafted a cask for her, but need someone to take it to her, since the preparations for our departure keep me very busy. Would you take the cask to her? We'll find her to the north and west at Limael's vineyard. So I need to deposit this at Limael's vineyard. Is there anything else to do up here? And we will now go and speak to Cardavar and the guy that was on the docks, whose name I cannot quite remember. Hello, somebody up here. Who is this? Ailian. Okay, Ailian, what do you want? As I said, I am sorry to intrude upon your reflections, but perhaps you can speak with Cardavar in Kellandin proper. He seems quite worried about something, and from what I know of the tales of your bravery, you may be able to help him. You may find him by the piers not far from here. Okay, Cardavar's worried about something. Let's see what Cardavar's worried about. Bet it's Avathal. At the best of Cardavar. Ah, hello there. We have not had time to get acquainted. My name is Cardavar, and you are? That was weird.
The shadow is on.
This is Avathal's satchel. I am certain of it. Did you see the pattern on its side? Avathal stitched that image himself long ago. You bring me fell tidings, Glorlas. You are sure there were no other signs of Avathal? Some sign that my son might have been hiding nearby, safe from wolves or other dangers, but too far away to reclaim his satchel? Nay, that is a weak hope, and I must not trust to it. Some foe has brought down my son Avathal. That is the only answer. And we get some simple rations as our reward for that.
Will you lend me your ear?
The goblins have slain my son Glorlas, and for that I will sweep them from the arid Loooong. No goblin shall take as much as 3 steps into these lands before we are there to greet him with a sword blade or arrowhead. Go forth and slay goblins wherever thou shalt find them, and cry aloud the name of Avathal, for I would have the foul creatures know whose doom has come upon them. While you are gone, word has come upon me that Limael's vineyard has been defiled by goblins led by a vile creature called Pamprausch. Seek out Pamprausch and his minions and slay him in the name of Avathal Limael. Limael's vineyard lies northwest of Kellandin, and for this I need to defeat Pamprausch and defeat 6 Blue Crag Defilers and 4 Blue Crag Sentinels, for which I will get a shiny earring as my present. Okay, now there's the guy here, the Glade Watcher.
Megovanen.
This delivery is worrisome. I will see that this information is passed along to Lord Loooong at Duilond. We never would have learned of this if not for you, Glorlas. We are in your debt. You are in my debt. But it's cool, guys. You know? It's cool. Don't want to be too braggy about it all, you know? Stable master.
What do you need?
We can go to Duilond, the Falathorn homesteads, which is housing, Thorin's Gate, or we can go to these places, we don't really want to go to just yet. What's the difficulty, guy? These are vendors who will sell us various. This is the outfit. Of all these vendors here, the only one that sells anything that we may even think of using is the outfitter, and that is purely because we quite like that backpack. We will buy that backpack, but we will sell a lot of rubbish. And now with our backpack, what we will do with our backpack is we will go here and we will put the backpack in our back slot instead of the cloak. But what we will do is we'll put it in our backpack slot on all of our outfits. And that way, I think the backpack with the javelins across looks a little bit funkier for an adventurer type. We might actually turn off the helmet slot. That one, turn off the helmet slot. See what we look like without the helmet on. Yes, we will definitely turn off the helmet slot as well. But with that in mind, what we'll also remember to do is open up our wardrobe, and we will put this into our wardrobe, close it, then we don't actually
How may I
need
be of
to
service to
keep
you?
it. We can sell that as well. Funky, huh? I mean, we don't get a great deal for it. I mean, we definitely don't get, you know, the equivalent of our money back. But we now have that we can use on any character whenever we want, as many times as we want. And we've got some of our money back, so, you know, swings and roundabouts, guys. Okay, there we go. That's the first episode of Glorlas's Adventures in the bag. If you enjoyed that, and as much as I enjoyed making it, I hope you'll come back for more. The next episode will be ready a lot sooner than you're expecting, because I carried on playing for the very least another hour from where this cuts off. But, as ever, I've been Waylander. You've been absolutely fantastic. I love all your faces, and goodbye.